John Lociero. And on paper, tonight's matchup between this man, John Lociero, and Tony Suero has all the earmarks of another Pier 6 type brawl. As we get ready for the official call up in the ring, 10 rounds of middleweight action, we throw it to the ring announcer, Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it's in the middleweight division. Once again, the judges, Richard F. Murray and Harold Letterman. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Frank Cappuccino. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round middleweight bout, referee Rudy Battle. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the green trunks with the white trim, he is weighing in at 157 3/4 pounds. This gentleman has a record of 19 wins, 7 losses, with 14 knockouts. From Brooklyn, New York, ladies and gentlemen, here is Johnny Lociero. Lociero. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the black trunks with the gold trim along with the gold lettering. He too is weighing in at an even 157 3/4 pounds. This young man has a record of 14 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws, with 8 knockouts. From the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, and a keystone state of Pennsylvania, boxing fans, here is tough Tony Suero. Suero.
Oh, Rudy Battle giving the final instructions. Suero says, no way, I'm going to lose to this guy. And in the words of Lociero, finally someone has enough nerve to face me.
Well, Johnny Lociero, as we look at him there, is often an inactive fighter. Hasn't fought since March when he lost a 10-round decision to highly regarded Sugar Ray Seals. That is a problem for him. If he would fight more often, many boxing people believe he'd be better. He is a dynamite puncher, and that man, Tony Suero, we are told by his trainer, Carmen Graziano, who's in the background, has changed his style a little bit, Steve. He wants to box more, be more of a ring technician. Whether he will revert back to the animalistic style we've seen from him before, once he's hit, we'll only know that when this fight gets underway.
He says he has matured. Brooklyn, New York, John Lociero right there. Philadelphia's Tony Suero, who says he's very excited about his appearance on ESPN tonight. He says, it'd take a broken leg to get me off this card. Lociero in the green with the white. And Suero in the black with the yellow stripe. Lociero comes in with a pro record of 19-7, 14 by knockout. He's 26 and he stands 5'8½". Suero is taller at 5'11", checks in at the age of 23, 3 years the junior of Lociero, and Suero is 14-4-2 with 8 knockouts. He says he does not want to fight in New York again, where he's 0-2-1, losing to Pablo de Jesus, the WBA junior middleweight champ, Davey Moore, and he had a draw with Doug DeWitt, but he is now in the Garden State of New Jersey. So this sort of a feeling out type round. Round 1 scheduled for 10. These 2 middleweights, and they're looking for a lot of banging here.
And from Lociero, the punch to look for is a big right hand. He's got a great overhand right, and it has been known to knock out quite a few people, as evidenced by those 14 KOs.
Lociero with knockout power. Basically, as you pointed out, with the right hand. He's a hard puncher. He's a brawler. Suero is very explosive, also a power puncher. And as we pointed out during the open, he says this is going to be akin to the Bull versus the Matador. He says, no way, I'm going to lose to this guy. And he looks to play the role of the Matador. That's Tony Suero in the black trunks.
Already in this first round, Suero has his jab working well, and of course that's a good sign for him. He will want to hit with that jab and then get out of range of the big punching power of Lociero.
We're midway through round 1. A big overhand right by Suero. Lociero, half Italian, half Puerto Rican.
Break, step out, step aggressive, step back clean.
Each with a minimum of amateur fights. Lociero just 8 fights in the amateur ranks, where he is 5-3, and Suero 4-0 before he turned pro.
And you can see Lociero, or rather Suero, punching in combination early in this fight. Wants to land 2 or 3 good shots and get away.
Well, you got a good indication of Ring Magazine's 1981 round of the year, when Lociero lost to Caveman Lee in the 5th round. The description by Sal Marciano. Sal and Al were ringside for that one, 1981 in Detroit. That had to be quite a night.
still gives me shivers when I think of it. There was an electric atmosphere, and right now Suero punctuates what's been a good first round for him with a good right hand to Locicero's head.
Approaching 20 seconds remaining in the first round, scheduled for 10. Here's a right-left combination by Locero. You're watching Top Rank Boxing on ESPN, and we'll return with more of this fight in just a moment.
Tom, walk in. Drop. Take something off your jab. Just put his head back and drop a vicious right hand behind.
You're right.
Well, all right. We got a lot of time. And then a hook, okay? He's very easy to hit with a jab. Set it up. Drop his jab and steps. He vicious right hand on the top and left hook. What about me?
1 round?
Yeah, you won the round easily. Tony's so easy to hit. He's much easier. Round.
So how do you like that, Al Bernstein? The words of Suero's manager, Carmen Graziano, saying that he's kind of easier to hit than they thought.
Well, very good advice. Jab was working, and he wants him to take it the next step, which is throw right hand behind the jab. Right there, Locero got his own right hand in. And, of course, that's what Suero has to be wary of.
Suero in the black trunks and Locero in the green. Graziano says that Suero reminds him of a young Mike Rossman, the former WBA light heavyweight champ.
There is a resemblance.
Combination by Tony Suero. Looking for his 15th victory. His last fight, November the 5th, a lopsided 10-round decision over Ben Serrano. Before that, he KO'd Freddie Creech in the 9th round. The Serrano fight, according to Suero, was the best fight he ever fought. Midway through the 2nd round.
Well, no one's ever accused John Lociero of being the best defensive fighter in the world, and we're seeing some of that tonight. It takes a lot of punishment, and Suero's been able to pick him apart with the jab, and Carmen Graziano's still waiting for that right hand from Suero. But the thing about Locero is, as we saw in that lead fight, he'll absorb a lot of punishment, but if he can just get one good shot in, he can turn the fight around.
In years gone by, aside from the caveman leave-out, Locero losing a 10-round decision to Roberto Sabator in 1980. He beat Teddy Mann in a decision. He beat Willie Klassen via 8th-round knockout in 79. Klassen later lost his life in the ring. And he beat Tony Danza, who, if I am not mistaken, is the actor that you see on the hit sitcom Taxi, right?
Made Tony concentrate on acting, I think.
Yeah. That was a first-round knockout, in fact.
John Locero could make me concentrate on TV work, I'll tell you that much.
Well, John Locero in the green continues to measure out Tony Suero with under 30 seconds remaining as Suero lets loose.
There's the right behind the jab, and John Locero's in a little bit of trouble.
He wiggles away from the ropes. There's that right, now a left by Tony Suero. Combination, a series of lefts, followed up by a right. And Locero is down to the knee. Down on his right knee. He got up quickly. He'll get the 8 count right here, the mandatory 8 count from Rudy Battle. As we head for the bell. So, 2 rounds complete, and Tony Suero putting Locero down on one knee. And Locero shaken up.
Well, seldom have we seen a fighter take advice so off from a corner. Suero led with the jab, the straight right hand, which that jab helped set up, and down went Johnny Locero. Graziano said, use the jab and the right, and it worked. Here's another angle of that action. You'll see it right on the button. There's one that missed, and pretty soon a lead right hand will catch Locero. And John holds his left hand low in any case, which is what makes that right effective.
And from another angle. The big right flooring Locero.
And we can see from that sequence that the hand speed, the edge of the hand speed, goes to Suero. Let's hear what they're saying to Johnny Locero.
You move your hand.
Go right after him.
Right after him and hit him to punch it.
Locero is managed by
2 hands now.
a tremendous name in boxing, Howie Albert, who also handles Juan Laporte, Jose Barrett. The trainer you heard was Jose Wilfredo in the corner of Locero. How do you look at the scoring so far?
Well, first 2 rounds certainly went to Suero, and the last one was a 5-3 round because of the knockdown. They score on a supplemental point system, so if this fight were a draw, they'd look at that round, and that could be the difference. Right now, though, they said, Locero in between rounds, go after him right away. I think that's his best chance. Lociero needs to establish his punching power, and there was a good right hand from Johnny.
Round 3 scheduled for 10. The scoring by the round system, supplemental 5-point must system in the event of a draw. There's no 3 knockdown rule. It is waived here in New Jersey. A fighter can be saved by the bell only in the last round, and it is scored by 2 judges and the referee. Tony Suero in the black trunks with the yellow stripe. Johnny Lociero in the green trunks with the white stripe. There's a right by Tony Suero, controlling the tempo from the outset.
Now we could see early in this fight that Lociero looked very, very rusty. Some of that could have to do with that long layoff, and that's always been a problem for him.
He's been inactive for a while, as you pointed out. In the first round, his last fight, March 31st, losing to Sugar Ray Seals, a 10-round decision at the Felt Forum in Madison Square Garden. And Tony Suero looking a lot more mature than in the past. He says he wants Lociero to come at him and induce Lociero into making mistakes. Left jab set up, and then the right hook by Tony Suero.
And so far, Tony Suero has indeed been a more disciplined fighter than we've seen in the past. Carmen Graziano wasn't blowing smoke when he told us that. He's kept his composure. Now the question is, if Lociero is able to hurt him, will he continue to keep that composure?
1 minute remaining in round 3 again. Graziano, Suero's manager, predicting Suero will KO Lociero before the 6th round. Suero told me he doesn't lose his composure anymore. He says that if Lociero is slow, he is in trouble. So far, so good in terms of Mr. Suero in the black trunks. Little bobbing and weaving. Combination missing. A left by Lociero catching Suero on the face. A left by Suero landing on Locicero's face.
And Lociero has not been a busy fighter in this fight. You can count on your fingers the number of punches he's thrown.
Keep him up, keep him up.
It's often a problem for him.
20 seconds remaining in round 3. The middleweight bout scheduled for 10. Now they're toe-to-toe in the center of the ring, and Suero does a little dancing around. Good left-right combination by Tony Suero as we come down to the bell. The end of round 3. Stay with us here on ESPN. 10. Middleweight Tony Suero and John Lociero. It's been a little bit sluggish as far as Lociero is concerned. Perhaps the inactivity is taking its toll now.
He's off to a very slow start. And one of the things he wasn't doing was putting punches together. And he started off this round doing it. Good indication of how slow his start is my scoring with Suero taking all 3 rounds. I can't imagine anyone has it any other way.
The scoring of Al Bernstein. Unofficial. The judges are Harold Letterman and Richard Murray. And also involved in the scoring is Rudy Battle, the 3rd man of the ring.
And they want Lociero to go to the body. He's not having any luck hitting Suero on the head. So Howie Albert said to throw the right to the body and get a feel for him, and then you can bring it upstairs.
Now, after Suero just missed with an overhand right, he pointed over to his corner. Looking to get some kind of message to his people. And then he just said something to Rudy Battle.
And there we saw Lociero go downstairs with a combination.
A lot of water flying as Lociero went upstairs with a left to the head of Suero. Now Lociero looking to back Suero into the corner, but Suero scrambles out, and then a solid left uppercut, but Lociero able to pick it up.
There was a good left hook to the body by Lociero. I think it's very sound advice from Howie Albert. Perhaps he can slow Suero down a little bit.
Howie Albert, who has teamed up with such greats as Gil Clancy, Emil Griffith, Johnny Pearsall, great light heavyweight, George Foreman, Jerry Quarry, we mentioned Von Laporte, and Jose the Threat Barrett. Oh, brother! Tony Suero landing on the head of Lociero. Locicero's ready to go, and there he goes. Lociero claiming he was pushed, but what a whack by Suero. He gets the mandatory 8 count. Second time he's been down to this fight. We're in round 4. Under a minute remaining, scheduled for 10. And Tony Suero looking to finish off against John Lociero. Oh, a thumping left by Suero. Suero almost slipped as he let fly with a combination. An overhand right, a left. He is just flailing away to the face of Lociero. Lociero is ready to go. Suero boring it on Lociero. Rudy Battle watching very closely. There's a right by Suero, a left, another right. Combinations, and that's going to do it. Tony Suero defeating John Lociero here in the 4th round with a furious assault.
Well, Tony Suero showed us that he had the superior hand speed in that fight, and he did what Carmen Graziano said he would do. He did not lose his poise. He just raked Lociero over the coals. Let's watch the knockdown, which started all these problems for Lociero. He had been hurt, I think, at this point by a right hand already, and Suero rather, just kept after him. Now, that may well have been a push, but Lociero was certainly hurt at that point.
Now the flurry as Tony Suero just exploded against Johnny Lociero. Frantic. And that's it as Rudy Battle finally stepped in and said that is enough. And Tony Suero now picks up his 15th professional victory. Now 15-4 and 2-9 by knockout. He gets the cheer from the crowd. Hometown favorite from nearby Philadelphia. Tony Suero victorious over John Lociero, who falls to 19-8. So we'll get the official word in a second as Ed Darien picks up the microphone in the ring. As Suero records the TKO in the 4th, we'll get the time. Here's Tony Suero relishing in the victory. Carmen Graziano, good show of sportsmanship, goes over to shake the hand of John Lociero. All right, we're ready for the official word from Ed Darien.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rudy Battle stops this bout at 2 minutes and 33 seconds of the 4th round, and a winner by a TKO, tough Tony Suero. Suero.
So the power of Tony Suero, 2:33 of the 4th round over John Lociero. More top-ranked boxing coming up from the Sands Hotel.
Tony Suero showed us that he is indeed a new warrior. Showed us a new disciplined style that Carmen Graziano said you had, and you took out Johnny Lociero. Very impressive performance.
Well, live with Carmen, you got to do the right thing, and he's got me with him.
Tony, Carmen had told us that you were going to be more of a boxer tonight, more of a technician than perhaps in some recent fights. That was obviously the case. Have you worked hard to perfect that new style?
No, I always had it in me. I just never had the condition. So that's why before I went out there, I went out there to try to take him out of there, you know, and not go to distance. If I could have went 20, I could have went as many rounds as I could have fought in the 1900, 10 today, tonight.
Let's take a look at the 2nd round knockdown, and Tony, perhaps you can tell us what you see at this point.
Yeah, see, I'm throwing coming down. I know he's hurt from that right hand. He goes with a nice right hand. I went off bounce somewhere along here. No, next time I went off bounce.
No, that was the next time.
Yeah, that was when you had him hurt in this
I
next...
just hit him with the right hand, and he was so hurt that the air was knocking him down the 2nd time. As Corman said, I didn't pick my shots like I was supposed to. But I was anxious. I was in there with a good guy, you know. The hook hurt. Oh, the right hand hurt him. I thought the hook took him out of there. I went off bounce somewhere, and that's the best punch I hit him with when I came back. Watch. Too close. I pushed him. They called out a knockout.
Now, that was a push, but he was hurt at that point.
Yeah, they could have called that a push, because I thought I did push him.
Now, here's the end of the fight.
I'm hitting with, I know he's hurt. I know sooner or later the ref is going to have to stop it. He hit me with a good right hand. I knew he had to stop it sooner or later. He was hurt. If not, he might have got hurt.
Now, one of the things during the fight that Carmen told you when we eavesdropped was you were able to hit him with the jab much easier than perhaps you even anticipated. That set everything up, didn't it?
I knew I could hit him with the jab. I didn't hit him with the jab I thought I could hit him with, because I was over anxious. I'm in there with a good guy. I know he's fought world competition, world top 10. I keep before the, Marcus Geraldo came in late, got the fight of the year. And I should have used the jab more, but Corman, he told me I could hit him with the jab, and I didn't hit him enough, as you can ask him. He knows I'm a better fighter than I proved tonight.
Okay, let's ask your trainer, Carmen Graziano, for, 2 things. First of all, his grades of Tony, and secondly, what are you looking at in the future?
Well, if he continues using the style that he's using, I'm looking for a boxer-puncher He's got his composure now. He's putting combinations together. Tonight he was a little over anxious. Although his jab was very effective, he should have been dropping right hands behind the jab, and he wasn't doing that. The 7 or 8 punches that stopped, and not one of them punches were really clean as they should have been. But as the fights go on and as he gets accustomed and adjusted to the new style, I'm sure he's going to be a very exciting puncher boxer.
I got the tools. I know I got the tools now.
Tell us quickly, who is next for him? What kind of fight?
We're looking for Ramos. We had it once before. A few things happened, but our sights are on Ramos, and I think we're just about to make that particular match.
Okay, so Tony Suero wins impressively over John Lociero. Let's send it back to Steve Albert.
All right, Al and Tony and Carmen, as predicted by Mr. Graciano, Suero taking out Lociero before the 6th round. He did it in the 4th. Coming up, heavyweights, Norman Logan and Ralph Kelly. So stay with us. For